Rockstar gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm using a new mic today, so let me know how it sounds. Hopefully, it sounds pretty good. So I'm using a new one today. I'm gonna put it there though. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound the like button and subscribe to the channel. Keep Pounding is in here. King Jermaine is in here, and Marcos Cash is in here so far. So feel free to get in the comment section, and of course, smash the like button. All right, so we got a lot to talk about. I got some stuff to say. First things first. Let's start with this. The quote of the day. The quote of the day for you guys. We're going to start off with this. I always like to start off with a quote of the day. I'm going to start getting my head out of my ass and start making PowerPoint presentations again. Stop being lazy. But quote of the day for me is one that I saw this morning. Strength and growth come along through continuous effort and struggle. Just so if any of you are going through anything and it's tough, you know, whatever you're going through, you know, you can always persevere. So your strength, your growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. So continue putting effort, never give up, keep moving, keep pushing forward. So the quote of the day, because I know we all go through shit, right? We all go through shit. You know, I was going through shit today. I didn't feel like doing this live stream, but I'm doing it because we all struggle with stuff. All right. So, you know, I struggle with things too. So I didn't want to do this live stream, but forward and continue to bring out content. So good quote of the day. So again, strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. All right. Here's another good one. Your actions determine who you are. Absolutely, it does. Absolutely, your actions do. All right. Well, without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay. Bryce Young, make or break season 2024. Is it a make or break season, guys? Right? Is it a make or break season? And, you know, I'm going to break it down like this. Bryce Young is stepping into a pivotal situation. All right. A pivotal situation. And especially in his second season. All right. The spotlight on him it burns brighter, I think, than ever. And I think some folks across the league wonder if he's about to hit his stride or stumble. Okay. So if we're really going to dive into this, and I'm going to really dissect not only the roller coaster of Young's rookie season, but really what peaks into what lies ahead for him. Okay. All right. That's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to break this down today. And then we're going to talk about the signing of Rashad Penny. So first things first, let's break down Bryce's rookie ride. Okay. That's what I like to call it. That was Bryce Young's rookie ride. Okay. Everybody strap in, keep your hands and feet in at all times as I take you through this journey. All right. So the upside of Bryce Young last year. Okay. Guy is built tough. Okay. Let's be honest. The guy's built tough. He took a beating last season. No doubt about it. Basically playing pinball with the defensive line. The guy stayed in the pocket, proving he's got the resilience of a tank. All right. Size may be a talking point, but his durability, I think, what speaks volumes. Okay. Play extender. Okay, that's the upside. Another upside. Play extender. When the offensive line resembled a savvy, they resembled Swiss cheese. Okay, the offensive line represented Swiss cheese. Okay, Young didn't just fold. Okay, instead he showcased his backyard football magic. I felt like buying himself some time, making something out of nothing. I feel like his abilities to keep plays alive really injected life into this offense. Another upside to me was I felt like his maturity is beyond his years. Now, again, there's a lot of scrutiny behind closed doors that's saying, Bryce Young's dad's involved, Bryce Young's cusses out dudes. Again, I want to see, I need to see a full report on this. I think there's a lot of narratives out there that might be the case, but until proven otherwise, you let me know on that. Okay. All right. Because again, I don't know if that's actually exactly true, right? But I feel like Bryce Young's very mature. I felt that his maturity definitely shined. Because a lot of the time in a league like the NFL, egos can really rival a locker room square footage. Win or lose, he faced the music, he owned up to his mistakes, and he pledged to do better. That kind of accountability says a lot to me. Okay, so that's the upside of last season. Okay, which is not much. I only said two things that made him a playmaker, a play extender, and he's built tough. Okay, so I didn't say that the upside was that he has great accuracy. He could be deep threat passer, whatever. All right. So, those were the upsides for me. The downsides were, again, so now here comes the downsides of last year. He missing the mark downfield. He did that. Long bombs were more like duds for Young last year. Deep accuracy took a hit, leaving big play opportunities hanging, connection on those who could have shifted games, but it didn't click. All right. So, the thing is, so the thing is, the deep ball accuracy just wasn't there. Okay. Did he elevate his teammates? No, that was another downside for me. Okay. Running into 18 sacks. That's another one, King Jermaine. I'll say that 18, I will take the 18 sacks that he ran into over the other 40 plus that he didn't. That wasn't his fault, right? You know what I mean? So, to me, he didn't elevate his teammates. That's another thing he doesn't do. Part of a QB's gig is making everyone around him look better, right? While Young had flashes, there were too many missed chances to showcase his squad's skills. It's a team effort, and he has to be the conductor. Footwork fumble, you can't dance around it. Bryce Young's footwork was a bit off. And analysts and myself can quickly point out how affected his throws and overall performance were. So he's got to tighten those mechanics. And it's vital to unlocking his full potential in that case. Now, the gory details are that statistically he stumbled. Numbers don't lie. Bryce Young's rookie stats painted a rough picture last season. And he was near the bottom of the barrel. From completion rates to sack counts, it's not precisely the debut you'd write home about. And to me, there was a little bit of a history lesson. right? Comparisons to past rookies who fizzled out late, too young situations. Some bounced back, but others didn't. It's a cautionary tale with Young straddling the line. So if we look into now the future, if we're talking about now the future, exactly. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't. Um, so let's talk about glimpses into the 2024 season. Actually, let me give you some statistical details that maybe you don't know. All right. So last season, I will say this. Last season, Carolina had two of the worst wide receivers in NFL at creating separation. Number 2 on that list, if you look at the top 10, Jonathan Mingo. Number 10 on that list is DJ Chark. So the supporting cast at the skill player position wasn't very helpful. Run game was non-existent, right? Offensive line representing Swiss cheese. Okay. We all know that. So here are some fun statistical stats. Young ranked near the bottom of the NFL in almost every category at his position, including total QBR, 31.4. Now, Young's stats from the first 2 weeks of the season are nearly identical to his past 9 games last season. So the last 9 games of the season. So statistics also show that the offensive line isn't doing enough in pass protection. When you go look at it statistically, particularly it was Bradley Bozeman, who ranked among the worst in the league with 8 sacks allowed. Now, again, Bradley Bozeman, also if you go look at the chart where all the pressure came from, 22% of it came from the left guard position. I think the highest percentage was 22% at the left, and the right guard was 24. Something like that. I can pull it up. It was something like that. There's a chart out there that I saw. And it said that and I put it in the Discord, I thought. But again, so there was that issue. And I'll find that chart again. So Young last year was also sacked 62 times, second most in the NFL season. He averaged his average time before a pass was 2.89 seconds. But again, that's because of his elusiveness that he had so much time because he was going out the pocket when the pressure was falling through. So why do you think they went out and got Damian Lewis? And why do you think they went out and got Robert Hunt? Because most of the pressures came on the inside. Okay. Again, Bradley Bozeman might have allowed the most sacks on the team, the 8 sacks or whatever it was. But again, more of the pressures came on the inside. So the left guard and the right guard position had the highest percentages. Yeah, and that's the thing, JP. I don't know how he's going to be able to fantasy properly either because of being 5'10", but he's going to have to. I think that the problem is I think that they're going to use him to his strengths, though, right? And I'm going to get to his strengths here in a minute because, again, the pass blocking win rate was 52%. Carolina's pass blocking win rate last year was 52%. That ranks 25th in the NFL. So basically 50% of the time, our pass blocking was winning. It's not very good. Again, he had the lowest percentage of throws, 38.1% to open targets with 30-plus yards of separation out of 34 quarterbacks with at least 150 pass attempts. Young's pass attempt rate is 5.4 yards per pass attempt, the lowest season average by any quarterback since Blaine Gabbert in 2011. Now, Young's QBR in play action passes was 31.3, third lowest behind Howell, Mac Jones of the New England Patriots. Now, funny that I mentioned that because I found an interesting statistic on Bryce Young that maybe no one knows about. Maybe you do. But so actually, he did see some better, more success though in the play action as a rookie. That's why I was wanting some more bootlegs and sweeps and outside the pocket throws for Bryce Young, because he had more success last year as a play action runner, as a play action rookie. He had 50. So out of the play action passes last year, this is as total out of play action. He completed 51 of 81 passes. Okay. So he completed 51 passes out of 81 attempts, 63%. Okay. 589 yards, 7.3 yards per attempt, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he had a QBR rating of 95.1. That was out of play action last year. 5 carries for 39 yards as well, out of play action for 7.8 yards per carry, with 3 first downs on the ground as well. So play action pass, to me, was what I was asking for. That's what I was asking for. I was asking for more of the sweeps. I was asking for more of the bootlegs. I was asking more for the play action pass and get Bryce outside the pocket. That last statistical numbers that I just gave you proves to my point last year that he's better outside the pocket, and you can't force a 5'10" quarterback in the pocket. And that's just to go back to what Ging JP says. He's 5'10". How is he supposed to feed his plant his feet properly? He's absolutely right. If you go watch his game film, and I broke down every game last year, he's on his tippy toes trying to make throws. And he made some throws from there, but most of his throws were erratic when he was in the pocket because he's trying to see over the line. So that for him being 5'10", that causes him, even if he plants his feet, it's tough for him to see over that line. Then again, when he's on his tippy toes and he's not planting his feet, again, it comes down to the fact that that affects his deep ball accuracy. That also affects his field vision within the pocket. So guess what do you do for a guy like that? You play action pass. You do the sweeps. You do the bootlegs. You add more motion. And I think that you have to do that. You can't keep this kid in the pocket. No, I get it, JP. I'm not saying every play. I'm not saying every play. But you definitely gonna have to add it. Now, what's the approach that Canales is gonna take? Is it gonna be like, are they gonna take a Drew Brees approach? Are they gonna take like a Drew Brees approach with this kid? Because that's what it seems like you're gonna have to do. Do what the Saints did with Drew Brees. Right? Do what the Saints did with Drew Brees. I think that's what you're going to have to do. I really do. Now, with the new season on the horizon, I feel like the Panthers have the Dak. They have they have a stacked deck, and they have to set up Young for success. What did they do? Well, they beefed up the O-line. Check that off. Fresh faces in the wide receiver room. Double check. Added to the tight end room. Triple check. Added another running back or two. Quadruple check. Whatever. Now it's up to Young to make up the most of the upgrades that they've given him to level up his game. I don't think this guy needs to morph into some MVP contender overnight. But his consistency is definitely going to be critical. I just need to see improvement, whether threading the needles, get deep, see more deep ball accuracy, orchestrate drives like I'm a conductor, you know, be a leader on the field. I need flashes of a franchise quarterback potential. I need flashes of the Bryce Young we saw in Alabama. If I can see those kinds of flashes and I see the improvements, we're not going to have a discussion. I don't think we'll have another discussion. But if we don't, then there is going to be another discussion. There's two discussions that we can have after. Basically, I'm giving Bryce till November. Probably the end of November. I'm going to give him till the end of November to prove it to me. A new head coach under Dave Canales, offensive minded. Apparently, obviously, I consider him a quarterback guru just because you look at what he's done with those other guys. But it does offer a chance to really hit that reset button in Carolina with this kid. You don't want the things that happened last year to transition over to this year. You want to, and I think Canales is taking the right approach to all of this. Back to the basics. Where does it start from? Like he said, starts from the ground up. So his footwork. Great. I like the sound of that. But I hope that with your guidance and this revamped playbook that you continue to talk about, you got Young the tools. Now it's time to fine-tune him up and his game so he can start making waves in the league. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about him. Can he be elite? Or is he just going to be an elite game manager? I don't know if we should even be putting elite and Bryce Young in the same category. I'm going to give him till November. Let's just see where he's at in November. It's more or less of saying I'm giving him till November to see where he's at. I'm not saying that I'm going to say, okay, this guy's not who I think he is or who he was or who he could have been. Okay. But I think from that standpoint, this 2024 season isn't just another year for Bryce Young, in my opinion. It's a fork in the road. All right. His rookie roller coaster was a wild ride. And now he stands at a crossroads because with the Panthers behind a fresh playbook and the Panthers are behind him, Young can silence all these doubters and can fulfill his first overall pick promise. But make no mistake about it, the road ahead is paved with challenges. You go look at our schedule whenever it does come out on Thursday. Well, let's talk about that first. Let's talk about that when we get there, because that's going to be interesting. Because Young is definitely going to have to bring his A game with the schedule I think we're going to have. We're going to have a top 10, probably toughest schedule in the NFL. Possibly. So if he wants to secure his spot as Carolina's future quarterback, he's going to have to bring his A game. He's going to have to show flashes of the Bryce Young in Alabama. Antonio says, like, subscribe, share the stream, please. Appreciate that, Antonio. I appreciate that. Anyone else thinks this is cap? What's cap about it, Mad Chatter? What's cap about it? Great content as always, Clay. I appreciate that, Antonio. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for showing your support. Ryan Tannehill's. Yeah, I never expected anything elite from Bryce. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the physical attributes for it, in my opinion. Doesn't mean he can't be good, though. No. And he does. Here's the thing. I still think the kid's could be a bright future. Can I ask, do we really have any better options for a QB next year? No. That class is going to be a reach. I can tell you right now that QB class next year is going to be an absolute reach. Why do you think teams went out and who were desperate for a quarterback this year? Why 6 of them were drafted in the first round? They don't trust that class next year. I can tell you that. And Black Fry's right. I definitely think we're going to be relying on the run game. I'm not in the business of being bored. At least we got exciting running backs. Yeah. I mean, again, do I think Bryce Young? Yeah, JP, I'm right there with you, man. There's nothing that is just like sticks out to me. There's not one guy out there that just sticks out to me in next year's draft class. I think the best person you're going to take a chance on is probably either Drew Allard or Quinn Ewers. Because other than that, no one really surprises me. Now, unless my boy at NC State, Grayson McCall, unless my boy at NC State, who came from Coastal Carolina, Grayson McCall, goes out there and balls out, then we might have a conversation. But we'll see if he can pull through. Because Grayson McCall is a hell of an athlete, and I saw him I saw him in college, and I feel like he could definitely silence some doubters if he wants to. Okay, he can definitely silence some doubters if he wants to, and he did it at Coastal. So we'll see if he can, transition that to at NC State how he did at Coastal. And if he can play like he did at Coastal, we might have a talk. We might need to have a talk. So Grayson McCall is another guy y'all need to look into if you haven't already out of Coastal Carolina. But again, it's going to be interesting to me how this all pans out. Again, the kid, I can't deny anything about it. You can't deny his toughness, right? You can't deny his toughness. I will say that. You just can't deny Bryce Young's toughness. Okay, there are some goods, there are some bads to everything. It's like, he's able to extend plays well. His toughness is good, but I need more. And I don't want, and I've heard people saying, well, maybe he could be an elite game manager. I don't need a guy who can be an elite game manager. I need a guy that can go out there and elevate these, his teammates. I need a guy that can go out there and elevate this team and his teammates around him. I need him to be like what, here's the thing. What is it that LeBron James does so well? He elevates guys around him. That's what he does. Yeah, I like Dart too, JP. I appreciate you saying that. I kind of forgot about him. I appreciate you saying that. That's a good one. That's a guy you definitely want to watch out for. Guys, make sure you pound the like button, get in the comment section. Get in the comment section. Love to hear your thoughts. But as you're coming in, make sure you pound that like button. That's the best way you can show me support. Yeah, I mean, you don't trade up in the first round. In my opinion, you don't trade up for go in the first round to get a game manager quarterback. If you thought that guy was going to be a game manager quarterback, you should have drafted Brock Bowers when Matt Rule told you to. If you wanted an elite game manager, right? If you want an elite game manager, you got to put you go get a guy like that. Like you should have gotten Brock Bowers when Matt Rule told you to a couple drafts ago. But, again, this guy, to me, I'm pulling for Bryce Young. So I'm not here to tell you I'm not for the kid. Not telling you that at all. I'm all for Bryce Young. I want Bryce to succeed. I've been one of those guys who critically have said I wanted him to succeed. I'm not one of those guys who critically hounds this kid and says he's trash. I think the kid's got all the ability in the world. The athleticism is there. You can see it when he puts it on the field. Okay. I still think that there's no chance in the world that I don't think there's not a chance in the world I don't think this kid can't be good, but he has to prove that first to me. So he definitely has a chance to do so. And I think that, I know a lot of people don't believe in him at all. But you better hope this kid does now, because I'm telling you right now, the next 2 draft classes for the NFL for the quarterback position, it ain't going to be very good. It doesn't look very bright. The future doesn't look very bright for the next quarterback draft class. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but is there hope? I mean, yeah, there's definitely hope. But, the truth is though, and I'm going to give you the full-blown truth about Bryce Young. I'll give you all the truths about Bryce Young. All right. And I'm going to give you some examples, and I'm going to give you some examples of some rookie first-round picks, okay? I'm going to give you some examples of some first-round picks, and I'll explain to you. And I'm going to preach just for a second about this a little bit more. Okay? So let me give you a couple truths, okay? Is there hope for Bryce Young? Yes. Short answer, yes. There's hope. Okay? I'm just giving my opinion here. And it's okay if your view of Bryce Young differs from mine. That's fine. Rational people can disagree. Okay? But when projecting Bryce Young's future, we need to go through some truths real quick. First truth that I want to get out there, or I feel that needs to be said, is that Bryce Young stepped into one of the worst situations, and probably NFL, one of the worst situations in Carolina. The coaching turnover, the non-dependable receiving targets, poor run support, pass blocking was a recipe for disaster. Okay, just for about any rookie quarterback. There was a complete organizational failure around Bryce Young last year. He was set up to fail. And we can talk about these hypothetical questions, right? that we'll never be able to answer. Well, what if he would have played for teams like, you know, some good teams like, for example, what if he would have played for, I don't know, like the 49ers or something, or the Dolphins or the Ravens, or just hypothetical questions. That this, teams that are surrounded by weapons and competent coaching, right? That's a question we can't answer. But I could assume that he would have looked a lot better at those teams that were surrounded by weapons and competent coaching than he did in Carolina. I can guarantee you he would have looked a lot better there. But Bryce Young didn't play well. That's definitely a truth. I mean, look at throughout the season, he seemed to be slow. I'm gonna be honest. I thought he was slow at processing reads, and he also, for me, made some questionable decisions last year. Again, he had the second lowest QBR among quarterbacks. He had the highest bad throw percentage in the league. He took the second most sacks in the NFL. What was the most concerning for me is that he didn't improve through the season as the season went on. Because if you go back and watch his tape, he made the same mistakes like in week 17 and week 18 as same ones that he made in the earlier in that season. Now, I'm not blaming Bryce for everything. I've named all the other narratives out there, right? We can name them all. Incompetent GM, meddling owner, Hunger Games, rat coaches, more voices in his head than Randy Orton. Okay? Those are some other things maybe I didn't add into besides the offensive line, the wide receiver, and the skill position players and run support. But Bryce Young, another truth, which is JP has alluded to multiple times in the chat already. He's 5'10", and that's never going to change because he's not going to get any bigger. And have short quarterbacks succeeded in the NFL? For sure. But his height cannot be changed. The questions that should be answered in the next year or two is how much of it really was the horrible situation, how much of an impact that was, and also the subpar play last year. I hope for our sake that our new coaching staff, the system, the scheme that they put in Bryce to in a better position to succeed. The offensive line should definitely improve. You get Brady Christensen and Austin Corbett back fully healthy. We'll see how the transition goes with the center position, but you're still concerned to me that you didn't go out and get a center in the draft or free agency. But they seem to, there's reports out there that they seem really happy with Austin Corbett there. But they also went out, they got a legitimate wide receiver, I feel like is a legitimate wide receiver and a great separator in Deontay Johnson through free agency. And you brought in a big vertical threat, point of attack, 50-50 ball, home run hitter in Xavier Legette in the draft. Bryce Young isn't the first highly drafted quarterback to lay an egg in his rookie season, though, guys. I will say that. He stepped into one of the toughest positions last year. He stepped into one of the worst ran franchises in the NFL last year. But it's not often that highly drafted quarterbacks struggle in their first year. And then they figure things out over the next year or two. So there's definitely hope. So what are some, I'm going to give you some examples. Okay. I'm going to give you some examples of quarterbacks who struggled right out. I'm going to give you some examples of guys that struggled right out the gate. Matthew Stafford, he was the number 1 pick overall back in 2009. He went 2-8 as a rookie. He completed just 53 of his passes through 13 touchdowns for a whopping 20 interceptions. He has now thrown, as the time gone on, he's thrown for over 56,000 plus career yards, won a Super Bowl, and has made 2 Pro Bowls. Okay. Another guy, Jared Goff, for example, a rookie. He went 0-7 as a starter. He completed just 55% of his passes. He threw for 5 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Over the next 2 seasons, he went 24-7, made back-to-back Pro Bowls. He's now in Detroit, made his 3rd Pro Bowl in 2022, was a Pro Bowl alternate last year. So he's turned it around. And it took him some time. Right? Baker Mayfield, another guy. Okay? Another guy that struggled. Okay? Number 1 overall pick back in 2018. He's currently playing for his 4th team in 6th season. Just made his 1st Pro Bowl, leading to Tampa Bay to win the NFC South and won a wild card playoff win. Josh Allen. Now he wasn't the number 1 overall, but he was the 7th pick in 2018. In his rookie season, he completed 53% of his throws, 10 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He's now a 3-time Pro Bowler, and probably, if I'm not mistaken, I guarantee you everybody in this comment list anybody on that would say that Josh Allen's probably a top 3 quarterback, right? I'm just giving examples of guys that have struggled that were highly drafted picks. Trevor Lawrence is another one. Pick number 1, 2021. Considered a generational talent. He struggled his rookie year. Went 3-14, completing less than 60% of his passes. He just threw 12 touchdowns against 17 interceptions in his first NFL season. Then the Jaguars go out and fire Urban Meyer, 13 games in Lawrence's rookie season, a situation which is kind of similar to what Bryce Young endured with Frank Wright. After Jacksonville cleaned house, Lawrence shook off the rookie jitters, and he made a Pro Bowl the following season. So there's not a ton of examples out there. But you can turn a struggle rookie season that made you look like a bust to not. That yes, there's guys out there. But there's also guys out there that have become one of the biggest busts. For example, like Jamarcus Russell, Jameis Winston. I think Jameis Winston's a bust. Great locker room guy, though. Love to have him in there. Blake Bortles is another guy. But again, I'm going to give Bryce another year before I give him that same grace of those guys. I think that what I need to be saying here to you guys a little bit more of is that what I'm going to say here is that patience is a virtue. I think you need to be patient. I think a lot of this has to do with that we have been losing so much as a fan base as a whole that we become impatient. Basically, Bryce Young's about to get his 3rd head coach. Basically, it now has his 3rd head coach in Dave Canales, if you think about it. 3rd play caller. as he begins his second NFL season. And so whether you like it or not, 2024 is going to be a reset, not only for the organization and this football team, but for Bryce Young. I think the goal here, though, is that for Bryce Young is that you got to make progress. Simple as that. You have to improve. And I'm not saying game one you have to throw for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns, but I need to see improvement throughout the year. Even if you can even hopefully look like an average NFL quarterback by the season's end. And then maybe the make or break year really will be 2025. But again, I could also have patience. So is it make or break this year or is it make or break next year? I think that's really what the question should be. Three 336 Boston. I like it. That's funny. That's a good comment. I like that. I ain't mad at you for that one. That's pretty good. But if he's a low end quarterback in the 2025 season and he looks like one, then let's go ahead and hit that panic button. I'm going to give him 25 games, or I'm going to give him at least 25 games or more under Dave Canales and this staff before I go anywhere else. So I'm going to push now that I've thought about it, now I've kind of been like thinking and talking it out loud to myself and talk to you guys. I think I'm going to give him till the mid-season of the 2025 season. All right. I think I'm going to give him till then. But we'll see. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for the best. Food for Souls in here. That's a new one. Rocky, 2 flavors. I think I've seen you in here before. Riverboat Rob, what's up? Black Fry, JP. Broski Bears in here. Nice. We're getting some new people in here. I love it. Appreciate that, guys. Appreciate your support. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Let's see what we got. I think you got to give a QB 3 years before you declare him a bust or not. These superstar players have clouded hard. Yeah, that's why I said I decided to give him until mid-season of 2025. I think that's fair enough. He's gone into his 3rd season. I'm saying 9 games into 2025, and that'll tell me. This is true, Chris. I'm just trying to be patient. Yeah, I just don't see 7 or 8 wins next year, guys. I don't see 7 or 8 wins next year. That's the thing. Looking at this schedule, and that doesn't mean that Bryce can't improve if they go, 6, like I said, I think 6 wins. That doesn't mean you won't see improvement out of him, but I do think, I do think that you could see improvement at 6 wins. I just don't see 7 or 8, not with the schedule and not with who we're playing on that schedule. It all depends, man. I think it all depends on how, and we'll see how that schedule pans out on Thursday. So, guys, also make sure you pound the like button. Friday, Xavier Legette jersey giveaway. I know I was supposed to do it today. I've been so busy. All right. I have been so busy. It's not even funny. So The Xavier Legette jersey giveaway is going to be Friday. I'm going to give more announcements on that on tomorrow. I'll probably do it tomorrow or Wednesday. At least take advantage of this rookie contract to add some defensive talent. Yep, exactly, Black Friday. I think that is fair. We should see major improvement if he is going to transition midway through this season. Yep. Pro sports debates. Love commentary and the channel. Appreciate that. Clay, if we have the first pick of 2025, he'll at least be benched. Yeah, I mean, but I'm telling you right now, I don't see anybody in these draft classes that just sticks out to me for the next 2 years that I want to go out and get. So, pro sports debate. I again, I was I'm not gonna lie. I wanted Stroud over Young, but I wanted AR-15. AR-15 was my guy. But they went out with, I guess David Tepper felt like Bryce Young could sell more tickets. I don't know. Schedule prediction? Like who we're playing? Like who like record prediction, or like how the schedule's going to pan out kind of ordeal? Like how the schedule's going to pan out? I want Hunter next year. Hunter would be insane. I would love to get him on this team. Just not shot. I just don't want any of the Deion Sanders boy record. 3-3-6 Boston. The bet, even if I think Bryce can improve, and I do think he will improve, but the thing is I think that if I'm giving you a prediction, my floor for this team next year, I think is 6 wins. I think the not the floor, the ceiling is 6 wins, the floor is 3. And I'm sticking to it. I just think that you can still see improvement out of Bryce, but with how tough this schedule is, it might be hard to see improvement out of this kid, honestly. Because we might have a top 10, based off the teams that we're playing, we might have a top 10 toughest schedule in the NFL next year. We might. But I'm hoping that Bryce can still improve even with a tough schedule. And I know that's going to be tough to do. And it's a lot of hope and patience now at this point for me. I broke everything down. I gave you all the statistical facts. I gave you, examples about the make or break season. And I started saying that, I'm going to give him this season to prove it to me. But I'm also willing to give him until mid-season of 2025. And we'll see. And again, I don't expect this kid to go out there and throw for 4,000 yards. The improvement that I need to see statistically, I think 3,500 yards, and I think 20 plus touchdowns, and you keep the interceptions at 12. Like if you can go 12 or below in the interception range, you can throw for 3,500 yards. You give me 20 plus touchdowns. I think that's an improved season. Now, does that say that he's a franchise guy for me? It's definitely a step in the right direction, but I still think I would need to see more. Marcos Cassius, come in and join the Discord. Yes, so that's going to be the best way, guys, when we do the giveaway. When I do the Xavier Legette giveaway, that you're going to want to join the Discord, okay? All right. So you're going to want to join the Discord if you want to get involved with the Xavier Legette giveaway. Because since my live stream the other night got over 100 likes, I told y'all I would give you a chance to give back after that. So I'm going to do an Xavier Legette giveaway, jersey giveaway. So I'm going to be giving that away this Friday. Also, Again, I'm still trying to do another giveaway. So if we can get this live stream up to 100 likes, I'll do another giveaway. I'll do like a Jonathan Brooks or Jadavion Sanders giveaway, maybe. I'm sure someone would want a Jonathan Brooks jersey. I appreciate you having that conversation about Bryce because some fans think of you, doubt the dude. You're a fake fan, and I want the best for the Panthers, and Bryce is not that guy, in my opinion. Wait, what are you? Omar comes in and says, I appreciate you having the conversation about Bryce because some fans think of you, doubt the dude, you're a fake fan. I don't think you're a fake fan. If you doubt the dude, you're not a fake fan. But when you bash him and you just grind him to the ground, it does make me think, do you give a fuck about this? Do you give a fuck about your team or not? Because I think we all want for the best for the team, for sure. I think as a fan base, we all want what's best for the Panthers. And you want, and I know, and if even if you believe that Bryce Young's not the guy, that doesn't mean I think you're a fake fan. I just think that if you sit there and grind the guy to the ground and keep sitting there saying this guy sucks and he's not it, and you just grind him to the ground, it's like, okay, you continue to complain on him, but do you want this team to win, or are you just going to sit here and complain about how Bryce Young sucks and how you don't believe it? I think that's when the narrative of the negative Nancy's come in. And I think that's the biggest issue, Omar. I don't think it's that people are fake fans. I just think that they get, we heard it once, we've heard it twice, we've heard it a third time. Maybe it's time to change it up. Give me something else. I complain about something else. I don't know. Everybody's going to complain about something until this team wins. If it's not looking better this year, his third year, I'm sure we'll be talking about replacing him by his fourth during his fifth year. Yeah. Omar comes in and says 3,500, 20 touchdowns, but not world changing. I agree. Yeah. Again, it's not world changing, but it's an improvement. Plus, can our defense create more turnovers? I need sacks and interceptions. Black Flag, we'll see upon that. We'll see if the moves they made pans out. Cyburn, what's going on? Yeah, I mean, it could. Per sports, it could. What kind of upside did Bryce show us out of 17 games? It's a good question. The only thing that I said, the upside that I felt like he showed was, his durability and his versatility, and that's it. Again, he needs to learn to be better in his footwork. He needs to learn how to step in his throw. He had a hard time 20 plus yards down the field. All right. And too often when Young had a man running free in the secondary, which let's be fair if we're going to talk about his deep ball accuracy, wasn't very often that a guy was free down the field. And he overthrew his intended target. So the question is that people say, well, he's got a weak arm. He overthrew every intended target 20 plus yards down the field. It wasn't that he underthrew him, he overthrew him. And so you can't say the guy doesn't have the arm to get it down the field. Right? So the upside, again, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The only upside that he showed me last year was extending plays, his toughness, and his maturity. That was the only upside I saw out of him last year. He has to work on his footwork and stepping into his throws. Now, were there some throws that I saw that I thought, okay, yeah, there was definitely some plays out there that he made some throws, and I was like, all right, okay. But for sure. But another thing is that he doesn't elevate his playmakers. Again, what did I say that LeBron James does well? What did Tom Brady do well? What did those quarterbacks do? What are those top quarterbacks and top playmakers and professional, not in just professional football, but in all pro sports? What do those top tier guys do? They elevate guys around him. So that's something he's also going to have to do for me. He has to be better at, he has to be able to elevate these guys or make these guys look better, right? But I would say the most upside that he has, the most upside that he has is his versatility and how he can extend plays. I think the arm talent's there. He's just got to get the ball in the right place and step into it. Right? So, now, exactly 336 Boston. If you're following a team that's been losing for a decade consecutively, you're not a fake fan. No, you're not. You're not. And I don't believe most of the people are fake fans. It's just find something else to complain about. Yeah, and I agree with that too. I don't make everything Bryce Young's fault. And I hope so. Rocky Two Flavors. I hope that's the case, my friend. I hope that's the case. Oh, for sure. Yeah, they wouldn't get rid of him. I'm definitely giving him a break. I'm definitely giving him a break. I'm definitely giving him a break. Like I said, I'm giving him to the mid season of 2025. Yeah, and you have all the right in the world to complain. I complain too, but complain, and over again, it gets old after a while. It gets old after a while. All right, Penny, Rashaad Penny, Panthers side, Rashaad Penny. So they went out and got a veteran free agent running back. Penny has dealt with several injuries over his career, but he's been proven to be a productive back when healthy. He spent the last 5 seasons of his career with Seattle. He rushed for over 1,900 yards, 13 touchdowns on 337 carries. It's interesting that this signing kind of raised questions about the future of Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders, especially with everybody else, like all the running backs we got. Raheem Blackshear still here. You went out and you drafted Jonathan Brooks in the 2nd round. But signing Penny definitely seems to me that they're looking for more production in the running back room. Hubbard did a decent job filling in as the starter last year. But there are concerns about Sanders returning to form after a disastrous 2023 season. I think it's unlikely that the Panthers will trade or move on from Sanders just yet. I'm going to hold off on that for a second. Trades for running backs are rare, especially when the player is coming off the worst year of his career. It's more likely they'll hold on to him for at least this season and make a decision on the final 2 years of his contract at the end of the season. Brooks is also working his way back from an ACL injury, so the Panthers are going to need to ease him back into things and carve out a specific role for him. So it's interesting to me how that's going to pan out. This running back group is going to pan out because I'm not too sure. Yeah, I mean, the dead cap hit this season is crazy. Yeah, that's the problem, broski. Like, I get it. The 10.2 dead cap hit this season. I mean, it's gonna. We're all, Tillis is already worked it out to where we're going to take all the dead cap this year. So if you go ahead and trade Sanders away, what are we going to get for him? Right? And possibly to Dallas makes sense. I mean, I can see that for sure. But I just, like I said too, I'm not sure there's anybody that wants to go out there and get this guy, especially after a terrible after last season. And this could be the end of Chuba Hubbard. Who knows? Who knows? I think it's going to end up, if they trade away, are they going to end up with 4 running backs? Or are they going to end up with 3 or just 3? Because, are they going to trade Miles Sanders, keep Rashad Penny and Blackshear? Because are they going to use Blackshear in special teams or no? Is Blackshear just going to get moved to the practice squad? So it's interesting to me how this running back room is going to pan out. I like having the options, that's for sure. It definitely makes me feel good about having those options. It definitely makes me feel good about having more options in that room. And, Rashaad Penny had his best seasons under Dave Canales. So it's interesting that, bringing him in. I'm not surprised by it. I'm not surprised by it. So, well, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button, subscribe. Giveaway this Friday, so join the Discord. And then I'm going to explain how that works. Basically, I'll give you in basic terms. You have to be subscribed, and you have to join the Discord. And then you need to take a screenshot and post it in the Discord that says Jersey Giveaway. Once you do that, you're into the you're in the giveaway. Yeah. That makes sense too, Broski Bear. I'm just interested to see how this room's gonna end up panning out. I'm just interested to see how this running back room's gonna pan out. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound the like button, subscribe, become a member today as well. That's the best way you can show your support. I'm always banging out content, so I'm always going to have more content coming out to you guys. Today was a short live, but sometimes short and sweet's the best, right? So, just to give the giveaway, it's just like Marco says, post the screenshot of you, subscribe to my channel, and then you can put it in the giveaway tab in the Discord. So if I share, I'm going to share my screen real quick so you can see it. And then I'm going to hop out of here. So once you join in here, we got the Ropp Star game. You got the Bryce Young debate, all that stuff. We got a bunch of stuff in here. But as you can see, I got a jersey giveaway. Brand new channel. Nothing's in it. So everybody that is a subscriber or anybody that watches my channel, this is where you would take a screenshot of you subscribed to the channel and you post it in there. And then there's the Discord right there. All right, so you see down there the jersey giveaway. It's the last one on the list, and you just take your screenshot and post it in there. But you got to join the Discord. All right. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that post notification bell so you don't miss any new content, and of course the giveaway. So Xavier Legette giveaway. I know that someone would love to have that jersey. So, and I'll pay for it and send it to your house. That's just how it works. So, again, appreciate everyone joining. Make sure you pound that like button. Let's get this to 100 likes, and I'll do another giveaway. Other than that, guys, as always, y'all know what to do. Keep pounding. Peace.